Hi, my name is Rachel from Ray K Books, and today I'm going to be interviewing Jordan Locke. Hello, Jordan.
Hello, Rachel.
Hi. So you wrote The Only Boy. Can you
Yes, I
please give
did.
us a synopsis of that book?
So about 100 years, it's set about 100 years in the future, and a disease has wiped out all of the men. So there's only women left. It's actually wiped out most of the women too, and so just small pockets of women are living in different places. Mine takes place in a hospital. They're all living in a hospital, and it's broken down, and they're just eating canned food, and um, so the, a boy is born in secret, and his his compound is destroyed, and he's brought to this compound, and they don't. He has to hide the fact that he's a boy.
Ooh, and the drama begins. So we'll start with some Twitter questions first. The first
Okay.
one is, where did the idea for your book come from?
So the idea came from when I was watching the movie Children of Men. Uh, in the movie, there's no more babies being born, so the youngest person is actually just turned 18 years old. So it got me thinking about what would happen if all of the men got wiped out. How would women reproduce, and what would society be like, and that type of thing. So that's how the
Really
idea started.
interesting. That's really interesting. It got me thinking
Thanks.
too, like, how would women rule the world? Like, would this be a good thing or a bad thing? Like, we'll never know. So the second Twitter question, and this is kind of a twofer. The first one is, are Mary and Taylor based on real people? And then the second one is, do your characters have attributes of real people in your life?
So, I mean, I guess loosely, all of my characters are kind of based a lot. Well, a lot of them are based on real people. I mean, I'd say um, a lot of it is based on me. I'm writing, and you know, probably Taylor is kind of similar to my personality, so I probably drew a lot of him from me. Um, but when you're writing, especially if you're writing the point of view character, you have to bring in a lot of your life experiences and kind of think about if something similar happened, how you react, how you might feel. Um, but it's really my characters are yes from people I've met, or from watching movies or reading books, or just really anywhere. Um, if anybody I know is reading the book though, and you think that character's you,
I
no,
was
it's
thinking that. I'm like, oh no. So then the third Twitter question, and then we're going to go on to other questions, and then we're going to come back to Twitter questions,
okay.
is, how would you describe your writing?
Um, I guess maybe the word I would use is kind of utilitarian. I know maybe it sounds strange, but um, really, I'm just trying to tell a story in the simplest way possible. When my first drafts are really short, like 30, a lot of times they're like 35 to 40,000 words, which is maybe a little more than
Yeah.
half of what I need,
Yeah.
and so I kind of have to fill in the blanks. So I really kind of write the plot basic, and then I kind of fill in the descriptions or whatnot, and then I kind of run through it to try and smooth it out and maybe add some emotion and whatnot. But I don't use a lot of purple prose or flowery writing, so it's very it's a fast pace. It's a quick read.
So pretty much you like outline the book, and then you fill in everything else, is what you're saying.
I don't really outline the book. I have a rough idea of maybe where it's going, but I just sit down and write. It's just when I'm writing, sometimes I'll write a really quick scene, you know, where there's not basically, you know, sometimes I'll just put in some dialogue, or I'll put in a quick scene where you know, really run through what the person is doing in the scene, and later I'll fill in kind of maybe what they're thinking
Right. Right.
or whatnot. So sometimes I have fully fleshed out scenes, but sometimes I just write real quick where the scene is going.
Right, and then you just add it in. Yeah,
Yeah.
that works. So what inspired you to write your first book?
Um. So I was listening to NPR, and their show on books, um, and someone read the first. They started reading their first paragraphs of their favorite novels, and well, actually, 4 years ago, 4 years before I really started writing, I thought of a scene in my head, and I wrote down the first few pages, and I thought it would make it interesting, maybe a book or a movie. And so I put it in a drawer and really didn't think much about it. But then when I was watching this NPR and they started uh, reading some of their favorite beginnings of novels, I started thinking about how mine would start. And just one idea led to another. And I just kept on getting these ideas, and I had to write it down. And so I just wrote, in like 2 weeks, I wrote the entire plot.
Wow, 2 weeks?
Very basic plot, but I basically wrote the entire, like 100 pages, the entire book.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Of
So,
course, it wasn't The Only Boy. That was
okay.
this is my fifth. The Only Boy is my fifth novel. So.
Okay. Right. And then how did you come up with the title? I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, The Only Boy,
Yeah.
but how did you come up with it?
I mean, it really just popped into my head one day. You know, I was thinking about it perfectly makes sense. The Only Boy, you know, the last boy, that type of thing. But I thought The Only Boy maybe has a little bit of like a dual meaning. Like for Mary, it's the only boy for her, and it's also the only boy in the world, and so.
Oh, it's so
That's why I chose that.
romantic.
Yeah.
Is there a message in your novel that you want readers to grasp?
I did not set out for any sort of message when I wrote my novel.
No girl empowerment?
No, I had this idea, so I thought I just started writing to see how it went. I mean, there are some kind of themes that it plays on, I guess, gender roles, and kind of nature versus nurture, the nature versus nurture argument, and that type of thing. But really, I just wanted to make an interesting read, and I guess you would kind of call it a dystopian thriller. So I just wanted to, it's a fast-paced novel, and there's a love story in there, but it's really just to try and be an enjoyable read where you never know where the story's going to go and what's going to happen.
Right. And so, if you had to choose, which writer would you consider a mentor?
I guess I would have to pick J.K. Rowling and the Harry Potter series.
Nice.
Those books are really what got me interested in reading, and probably had an effect on making me more interested in writing too.
What's your favorite Harry Potter book?
I like the first one. I mean,
Classic.
it's the original one. It's the one that the first one you read, and it's just
it's the one that started it all.
That's true. I like them all. I love them all, but that first one.
So, who designed the covers of the books?
So I designed the cover.
Ooh.
I'm actually a designer in my day job, so it saved me some money, and I got to do the cover that I wanted.
So, if you had to do it all over again, would you change anything in The Only Boy?
Um, I don't think I would. I don't think I would change anything. Um, no, there's nothing really that I can think of. There's probably little things that I could fix, but nothing big.
What is the hardest and the easiest part about writing this book?
Uh, I mean, the hardest part was just sitting down and doing it. Every night, nights and weekends, just uh, after the kids go to bed, just sitting down and writing. I mean, I enjoy writing, so it really wasn't that much of a chore. The easiest part, um, I I don't know that it's just like I said, I enjoy writing, so some days it comes easy, some days not as much,
Right.
um, but it's
It's the
just the
joy of
whole
writing.
process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So give us an insight into your main character. What does this person do that's so special? What sets that person apart from everybody else?
Um, well, obviously he's the only boy, so that sets him apart from everyone else.
that.
Um, I guess I guess I would say that he's maybe I can just outline the personality. He's kind of shy. Um, he's kind of awkward. He's put into this situation where he's brought his everyone he knows is gone, and he's put in this situation where he has to try and hide who he is. Um, so I guess that's what makes him special. He's the only boy in an all
Right,
woman compound.
right.
That's not special enough. I mean, he is, like I said, he's not. He's kind of quiet. He's kind of shy. So I mean, if readers are looking for like that alpha male type, then the only boy probably wouldn't be a good fit. But if you like that kind of shy and maybe a little bit insecure type character, then you maybe give it a shot.
What actor would you like to see playing the lead character?
Seriously, I don't know who I would choose. Um, I mean, it would have to be someone with some, I guess, that could pass as a girl, right?
Yeah.
Um, I somebody mentioned that maybe Leonardo DiCaprio when he was younger
Oh.
might be a good choice. Uh, I don't want to insult Leo or anybody who loves Leo that he has feminine features, but possibly.
I'd read a book. If there was a Leo book, I would read it. I
Yeah.
love Leonardo DiCaprio. So it's really great that your character is like Leonardo. So anyway, back to the questions. Uh, how much research did you do?
I mean, I didn't do a lot of research up front. It just when when it comes to if I need to know the answer to something, if I need to know, um, you know, how certain things work, or certain. I did some research on diseases because of the disease that wiped out the men. Um, but really, I just try and go ahead and write. And in the end, if I need to fix things, I'll do some research, or once in a while while I'm writing. Um, I mean, there was one instance that you know that that they're eating canned food, so I I looked it up online to see really how long canned food can last, and if it's put in like a dry, cool place and it doesn't get any rust, it can last like years and years and even like hundreds of years.
Really?
Yeah, but
Oh,
but I've had people question like that, in reviews and stuff. Is that really possible? Um, for instance, I was watching Pawn Stars, and somebody brought in this can from I don't know, like the 40s or whatever, and it was supposed to have this pearl inside,
yeah.
um, and it wasn't a real pearl. It was a novelty thing, and they actually opened it up, and the inside was like perfect. It was like amazing. The pearl was in there, totally fine, and the
Wow.
inside looked like it was brand new,
That's crazy.
isn't it?
And good to know. Thank you. So now we're going to play a game called Would You Rather. So for the viewers, if you don't know what Would You Rather is, I would be asking Jordan something like, would you rather eat apples or oranges for the rest of your life? And then Jordan has to say either apples or oranges. But this is a literature edition. So the first one is, would you rather live in the world of Hunger Games or Divergent?
I mean, that's a tough one, and since I can't say neither, I guess I'd have to say Divergent because the Hunger Games does not sound like a very fun place to be, especially in the games. Who would
Right,
want that?
right. So true. Would you rather fight next to Hermione from Harry Potter, Katniss from Hunger Games, or Triss from Divergent?
I'd have to say Katniss.
I thought you'd go for Hermione.
You did?
Yeah, because you're a Harry Potter fan.
I
I'm
know
like,
I'm a Harry Potter fan, but I'm a huge Hunger Games fan too.
right, I love Hunger Games. Yay, Hunger Game fan! High five.
Yeah.
So the third one is, would you rather read a book that is poorly written but has an excellent story, or read one with weak content but is written well?
I would have to go with the kind of poorly written story that has a decent plot because I don't know. I have to have my story when I'm reading it has to go somewhere. It has to have some sort of a plot. And I guess I might be I probably neither, but I probably overlooked the writing, and as long as it was an interesting story.
Who would you rather have as a child, Harry Potter or Hermione Granger?
I would say Hermione in this instance. Well, they're both Harry Potter characters,
Yeah.
but I have two daughters, and one of them is a little bit like Hermione, so I
Oh.
have to choose her.
Would you rather write novels where all the characters are women or all men for the rest of your writing career?
Well, I mean, doesn't you probably already know the answer to that one, right?
Yeah, but
I
I just
wrote a
thought
book where basically all the characters are women, so I guess I have to say women, right?
yeah. So, would you rather only write your books in trilogies or standalones?
um, yeah, that's a tough one. I'm gonna say standalone because really all I've written so far is standalones. Um, One of the some of the advice you get when you're writing novels is, and you're trying to get published, is don't bother to write a sequel because if the first one doesn't sell, the second one's not going to sell. So just move on to a different project. So yeah, I'll have to do standalone.
Yeah. Good advice. And then the next one is, would you rather write a book without using conjunctions or have every sentence of your book begin with one?
I'd say I mean that's a tough one. Um, I'd say without writing conjunctions. I'd somehow make it work.
Would you rather write a plot twist you hated or write a character you hated?
That one's an easy one. A character I hated because I've written plenty of characters I hate. Um, I mean, I think they make good characters.
Right.
If you can get the you know uh, if you can get the reader to hate them along with you, you don't want all perfect characters, right?
Right. Very
And I
true. And
think
you can
I
kill
think
them any
what's
way
that?
you want. I said you can kill them any way you want.
Oh, exactly. And I think villains are fun to write.
It's like
That-
you love to hate them. Kind of like
yeah,
that
yeah,
king from Game of Thrones. You hate him, but you love
yeah.
him at the same time.
And yeah, and they're just very interesting characters.
So the next one is, would you rather a super successful movie be made from one of your books or a long-lasting television series?
I go for the movie on the big screen. Yeah, definitely.
And then the last one is, would you rather critics rip your book apart publicly or never talk about it at all?
I would definitely rather not have them talk about it at all. How many authors do you have that would rather have them rip it apart? Do
Um,
you get a
it,
lot?
no, the majority doesn't want them to, but some have
Yeah.
said, I think like three or four have
Okay.
said, public publicity is publicity. So even though, people say bad things, people still know about the book.
That's true.
So you never know. It is true though. Like, I don't know. I think if I've heard of a really bad book, I'd probably pick it up anyway. I'm not sure. Who knows? Um, and now we're gonna go. Oh, that concludes our game of Would You Rather. Yay!
Yay!
You did it. Gold star.
All
Um,
right.
and now we're gonna
I
finish
answered
up
all the
the.
questions.
Yes, you answered all the questions.
They were tough.
Yes, they were. So the next questions are going to be Twitter questions. And the first one is, when did you know your book was done?
Um, Basically, when I when I read through it, because I do so many drafts after drafts. When I read through it and there's very little that I'm tweaking, that's when I know it's done.
And then that kind of concludes our Twitter questions because the last one was, what's your writing process? And we kind of already went through that.
Mm.
So we're done. So now we're going to go with, what's your favorite book turned movie?
Oh. Um, I'd have to say Harry Potter. This is all about Harry Potter, but I
So
mean,
good
the
though.
movies are really well done too and stick so well to the book that I love the movies too.
Yeah, I know. I actually cried when Snape died. I
What's
don't.
that?
Wait, was that a spoiler? Everybody's seen it. Whatever. Yeah, I cried when Snape died.
Really?
Yeah, I was in tears. Anyway, if you could be best friends with one of your characters, who would it be?
Um, I guess it would have to be Taylor from The Only Boy. Um, like I said, he has a similar personality to me, so hopefully maybe we get along good. Of course, my best friend is very different than me, so maybe not. Who knows?
So,
But I'd
do
have
you
to say Taylor. And besides, I guess he's the only boy in the book. But not that I don't have friends that are girls. I swear, like
want...
half of my friends growing up were girls. So
You're digging yourself a hole. I'm
I
just
know, I know.
kidding. No, it's fine.
But the thing is, my wife doesn't really let me have girlfriends anymore. Not girlfriends or girlfriends.
Right, right. So, are there any tips on how to get through the dreaded writer's block?
Yeah, I wrote a blog post about that called "You Too Can Write Crap," and what it basically says is that just let yourself write, whether it's good or not. It doesn't matter if it's crap. Just write, and you can always fix it up later. Um, I did that for my most recent novel. I had writer's block, and I felt like every sentence sucked, and my writing was getting worse, not better. So I gave myself permission to write crap, and I finished the novel, and some of it was crap, and some was actually pretty good. So,
And then, where can you see yourself in 5 years?
I mean that all depends. I probably will still be working my job. Um, to be honest, most writers don't make enough to make a good living. They kind of do it on the side. So unless you happen to hit it big, you're probably going to be working another job. So I, see myself working where I'm at and writing on the side.
If you were stranded on a desert island, which character do you want by your side?
Um, so it would have to be somebody very resourceful, right?
Right.
Um, and somebody that you could get along with. I'd I'd say MacGyver because he kind of maybe get me out of the. I mean, he's not a book; he's a TV show. Is that okay?
That's fine. Go.
Okay.
There's no rules really.
he could build a hut and with a stick and a stone start a fire and um, you know somehow figure out where to find the food so we'd be all set.
So your book, The Only Boy, is self-published. So what would you say are the main advantages and disadvantages of self-publishing against being published?
Um, the the main advantages are you can do it really quick. If you happen to be a designer like me, you can design your own cover. Um, I was able to get my book on Amazon very quick. After I formatted it, like within weeks, it was ready to go. It was up on Amazon and ready to be sold. It takes a good year or two to go through the whole publishing process. Even longer than that if you count in the querying and that kind of thing. Um, so the main disadvantage is probably obviously it's tougher to find an audience. You don't get your book in you can't get your book in the bookstores. Um, you you know you you're you don't have the marketing engine behind it. So
On
those are the advantages and disadvantages.
how long on average does it take you to write a book?
It takes about a year. So maybe about 3-4 months for the first draft to get through the first draft, and then it's good 6 to 9 months of editing, rewriting and editing, and running it by a critique partner and that kind of thing.
And now the last question before we talk about the giveaway, because there's a giveaway at the end, is which famous person, living or dead, would you like to meet and why?
So any famous person at all?
Any famous person.
Um, I don't have an answer to this one.
That's okay. You don't have to. Okay, so
let's keep with the Harry Potter theme and just say I'd love to meet
J.K. Rowling. Yeah, Harry Potter. So now I'm going to talk about Jordan is giving away The Only Boy. This is international for everyone around the world, and this will also end May 7th, so next Wednesday. And in order to win, the first thing you have to do is comment on this video. And the second thing is optional because not everybody has a Twitter, but to follow Jordan on Twitter, and then I will put his username in the description when I can. And then if you do follow Jordan, please put your username in the comment so I can verify the entry. And again, International ends May 7th. Thank you so much, Jordan. I had a lot of fun talking with you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you, Rachel.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye.